Just a real quick update video. I know. First thing I always start out with is real quick video. First off, the truck. I was going to take you out there and show you the truck, but the truck's filthy and it's nasty weather. So be looking forward to. Excuse me. I'm gonna at some point show you the truck. We're going to do a complete video on the tires, Patagonia MTs, how they sound going down the road. I will tell you they are surprisingly quiet. They don't have that, like a actual mud tire, that howl and stuff going down the road, but that's for a later video. Today we're going to do a quick update, but the truck is running, licensed, legal, ready to go. We got to worry about getting the boat in and out a few times just to get the feel of where everything's going to go, because it is different than the old truck. Today I want to show you a few things I've changed around. If you guys have been watching, paying attention to the channel. So I'm still kind of trying to find a rod I like for this reel. I like this reel. I honestly don't know if I like it as well as the Airstream Custom yet. But I've put the Airstream Custom. If you guys know me, you know that it takes me a while to get a rod and reel combo put together that I really like. And sometimes I switch around, but I like this ultralight combo right here. This is an awesome filling combo. So what I've got planned, it's already coming, is another basically rod like this. So we're going to kind of do a preview. So I've got another streamer coming. This is the 582 light, right? And it tells you right there. I don't know if you guys can make that out. Focus. It's hard to read. 582 light. Well, it's pretty much the same looking rod, should pretty much be the exact same. So just to get a preview of what that will look or feel like, because I got the 552 ultralight coming, and this is the intended reel to go on it. And I think we'll have another good looking combo that I'm hoping I like as much as do this light combo with the Corrado on it, or the and this is the Rainy Stream, if you guys know the deal with that one if you follow the channel. So this is a 532 ultralight. The other one would be a 552 ultralight with this on it. So I'm pretty sure these two reels, rod combos, will make up my main majority of my ultralight fishing. So all those other ultralight rods, the 522 super ultralight, the 632 ultralight, the CU double with the ultralight tip. Actually, the ones I may still occasionally use would be the Cast King Zephyr 5.6 ultralight and the rock and roll, because I do still like the feel of those, but I just like I guess I'm liking the hollow tip a little bit over the solid tipped rods when it comes to the ultralights. And so the 522 Teton rod, I still like it, but there's just something about this whole setup on this one and the way it feels with for light duties, like all around BFS. It just feels awesome with that Corrado. So I'm hoping once I get that ultralight in that I can get that same kind of feel and just general use out of the smaller stuff even lighter. And I don't really have a set weight, but you can throw a lot with this with a light and a good BFS reel. You can get down pretty low, but like somebody commented asking about the I don't have. Do I have one? No, I don't have. I don't have a good one on me. But I start calling them jelly beans. But it's a bean imitation of the Yozori bean. So I just call them jelly beans. I've ordered a bunch of them. Somebody asked me about how they fish them. These are typically going to be fished real, what I call slow. I do not try to fish these fast. You reel too fast, they'll just pop right out of the water a lot of times. So kind of slow and steady, and they do not go very deep. This is not anywhere near deep diving type bait. But that's how you fish those. And so although you can take a light rod and throw these kind of things, these would be for your ultralight rods, So ultralight, you can go up to, well, some ultralight rods, you can go up to 6 or 8 grams if you really want to. Hell, you could probably go to 10. But typically with light rods, you'll go down to, although you can throw this with it, I'd probably stick with because this is like a 16th ounce or 1.7 grams. I would stick to like a more of a 1/8 ounce and then up to almost regular BFS or regular bait casting, thing. So like eighth to a quarter is your kind of general all around, somewhere in that area, and you can go from one extreme, you know, up and down from there. But then ultralight, you're more in the 1 gram to, depending on how good ultralight is, trout magnet worthy or not, but you know, 1 to say 4 grams, somewhere in that area. So anyway, enough about that. We got a little preview of what's coming up, and I just hope I like, because this fill, the look and the fill, but I won't know until I get it on the actual, the, you know, 5.5 ultralight rod to see how it casts, how it works, and if I really like it or not. So we got a preview of that, and I have been busy changing a few things around. That is one of those cheap, they're like a flute, something, I don't know, this is a musical deal I found on AliExpress, and you pick them up for $1 each. And once I trim them down on my Dremel tool, I mean, you guys tell me what you think. I think they come out and they make cool knobs. And it's like $1 and a little bit of your time with the Dremel tool. I mean, if you guys haven't, there's videos, the video's already out there somewhere of me doing that, but that's a pretty good deal. I bought like 10 of them. That's the first one I made out of that batch. So I think I made 2 of them so far. I don't really need any. I got all these other knobs around. It's like one of those things. At some point, maybe. Still up in the air on, I think I like this looks better, but I'm not sure if I like the way this feels better, because sometimes I like a firmer feel, a little bit bigger, but I'm not sure if I'm digging the shape of that, you know what I mean? So, but that's done on that one. That looks good. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about it. We did get that anodized, you know, if you guys watched that video, we deanodized that drag star, got it on there. So got a clicking drag star, good to go. I think it looks a lot better myself. You guys can comment what you think. If you think that looks good. I wish that aluminum, I polished it up. I wish it was a touch darker and more, and it's not far off, but the spool, it's hard to make out the color of the spool, but it's definitely lighter or darker, like almost a gunmetal, not quite, but almost like this silver. But I think it all goes together pretty good. And definitely the functioning of it, how it works, I like it way better. You know, I can just reach up and make real quick adjustments. The drag clicker, I'll be honest, I'm still not happy with it. It works for now. At some point, I don't know, I may tear it back into it and try to get it sounding better. But I'll talk real quick and then I'm done with this video. I'll try to make it under 10 minutes. This looks like a acorn, right? Bought those butt ends. They were like $10 for 3 of them, so basically $3.50 a piece. Well worth it, the money, in my opinion, anyway. So I took this rod and it's balanced now, and I, you know, basically used a Dremel, made one. It's a little bit was bigger, and then I trimmed this one before I made the hole bigger, depending on what I put it on, or sometimes you may have to make the hole not smaller, but you may have to fit it or whatever. So I got one left. I put one on the filling rod. I did shorten the filling. I left this piece is stock. But if you remember right, filling had a lot longer, weird looking wood and like a rubber butt end that, so in a sense, I've shortened it, I think a few inches, but then I balanced it with weights internally. So you now have a balanced combo with, well, pretty much any reel, but I put the Dark Wolf Ultra on it because I'm still debating if I want to buy another Dark Wolf Ultra or just switch this one back and forth from the Zephyr to this rod. Because I did sell, I guess did you guys know that? I sold my, the other Black Knight 2 I sold. I still have one that's Noah's, and it's on the, if you guys remember right, the golden mud carp rod, the pink rod. So I have the Dark Wolf Ultra to switch back and forth, and I'll probably do that instead of spending another $70 just for a whole nother, because I've got like 10 or 12 combos right now. So I'm still up in there. I don't know. The next reel, and then I want to show you this real quick. This is one if you haven't just checked out the video, I think the video that just dropped today, I was like, just look at it. Well, it had been a while since if you pay attention to that video, I didn't even really have a butt end on it. So I just added that one. I know the cork doesn't match up. This is some old funky cork that you cannot match up anymore. But I just stuck that on it. It's a good back to filling, working, and a bigger butt end to jab into your gut while you're setting the hook and all that kind of stuff. So we got those fixed up with those, and the link is somewhere, I think, on wherever I unbox these. If you guys wanted to get your own butt ends, they come, flattened off, and you can change them around, or like you saw, you can add it by itself on the end of a rod if you've got one that the cork's getting jacked up on, or you can actually blend it in, as good as you can into an existing handle if something's gotten chewed up. I mean, even the dogs chewed on it or whatever. Or if you're new to the channel, you can also, for like $3.50, $4, get just the whole thing here and switch out. But this is not really a true cork. It's a little different. This is like a real cork. Those ends that you get, they're like corked through and through. These are kind of like an imitation cork onto a pressed cork. It's kind of hard to explain. But they work very good too. That's what's on the Tatula rod with the lingle that you've seen in that last video that just dropped. So then in that video I was talking about a few different things, but basically how, sometimes the action you create into a bait, the way you're working it makes a difference. And I was talking about Emily and how she was mocking me. Well, I went over 10 minutes, didn't I? Anyway, I've tracked down that old video footage of her doing that, and she was actually, oh, look, I'm Charlie. And it's one of her, I think it was the first day I talked her into trying a shaky head, and bam, she caught a fish like that quick. It was so funny to me. I don't know if it's funny to her. So in the same time of that video, like within an hour maybe, so I added it together. That's also the video where my high end at the time, well, it's probably more money than these are now, but my high end JDM combo was a Ito AI, just like this reel. But that's one I call Precious. It had all the purple stuff on it with the purple Kasuji spool, which the spool itself is like 150. The part's probably 100 or so. So that was like probably a $400 reel on a Megabass Shading X Destroyer X7 rod, 6'6", and that whole thing went poof in the water. You'll see in the video if you haven't ever seen it before. And she like lost her mind, was get it, and we're only in like 4 foot of water, so it wasn't like I couldn't just either jump in or reach down and get that rod and reel. But it was kind of funny. And then Precious has been gone through a few times, but these alphas, the old alphas, I don't know for sure. I think the new ones are going to end up being that tough and durable, but they'll start making noises or whatever. You can take them apart. The old aluminum gears will get geary. I've never had aluminum gear go out. I've had them get real geary sounding, so I switched them out, but I've never really had one fail. But very good rods, but we're still liking some of our Shimanos. I got rid of all the other ones except for the Corrado. I love this reel. I've been looking, I've been watching. You guys can jump on there, I guess, and take them if I don't get them, but almost ready to pull the trigger on getting the Scorpion BFS. There's one on, well, there's several on eBay. From like 175 or 185, something like that, to like 205 or 10. They might have a scuff or scratch here and there, but they're like 250 or 60 if you can still find them new most places. So I can't decide if I want another Corrado BFS or the Scorpion, because I think Scorpion in my mind looks a little bit better and fits on different rods, will look a little bit better overall in my opinion. Whoa, I didn't wrap that around. So how many times did I wrap that around? Jeez. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here. You guys let me know what you think. Are you old school alphas, new school alphas? Are you Shimano, Daiwa, whatever? Feel free to comment. I'm not a Daiwa or Shimano or AliExpress fanboy or none of that for that matter. If it's a good deal on AliExpress and it's a good product, I look for it, track them down. If it's a good rod and reel, I don't like paying high dollar, but if it's a very good reel or rod for that matter, I'm not opposed to it. I might try it out. But I don't really need anything right at the moment. I got that other rod coming, and I'm honestly set for the season. I don't need that new Aldebaran for any reason other than possibly to get to try out. But from what I'm seeing, the Aldebaran BFS 22, first off, looks like it's basically, they crossed up the MGL and the BFS, If anything, I look for them to come out, if either not a whole nother reel called a BFS ultralight or light, I'm looking for them to come out the spool, even, you know, not just aftermarket, but for Shimano to come out the spool to fit in that's a true BFS spool, because that spool on the new Aldebaran is not a BFS spool. I know it's small and it probably does all that and technically better than a lot of BFS spools, but that's not really a BFS spool. That's an MGL spool. That's why it says it's an MGL spool. So anyway, stay tuned. A lot more coming. I'm going to try to get out this weekend and try to get some fishing in and get enough footage, put some videos together, try out this rod. For the last 2 times I've been out, it's just been sitting idle, so that's why I put the Dark Wolf Ultra on it. What I'm going to try to do, because the last several trips, it never fails, that bait right there, you know, just a shaky head with what I call like the best bait ever, more or less. You know, worms in general, but that zinkers or stick bait in general, but the zinkers I find way better than any stick bait I've ever tried. Just if you know how to work them, how to use them, how to use them, get their max potential out of them. Whether they're old, they tend to float, and when they're new, you know, they work just like a stick bait. But you can use them for all different applications, as far as from putting them on just a bare hook, and when they're old, and floating them almost like a topwater, to putting a new one on with the 1/8 ounce or something and just letting them get to the bottom, and, you know, working them traditionally like a shaky head, to all, you know, pretty much all in between. You can work them vertically or horizontally like a soft jerk bait. Lot of different ways to use that setup, either with the bare hook or on a shaky head is my favorite way. I mean, you could Texas rig one also, but I don't like, I pretty much have replaced shaky head with all that stuff, just because you don't need all the extra stuff to tie on and put on and all that. All right, guys, get out of here, go bass and bonsai, whatever you do, make sure you have fun doing it. Yeah, they took the lingle, is no longer be able to be found on AliExpress for now. I heard they're redoing it, and I don't know if I'm getting